everybody, welcome to my chess channel. And in the last video we saw how to open up the chess game, and so now in this video we're going to look at a new at an opening which is the most basic opening, which is known as the Giuoco Piano, or also known as the quiet game, which starts out with the move pawn e4, as we talked in the last video. Controlling the center is very important. Now black plays pawn e5, also attacking the center here and attacking the center, as we talked in the last video. In the last video I told you you should get your pawn to d4 as quickly as possible. You can try getting it right now, but that will lead to the center game, and after white takes, then black could, if you want, you could take with his queen, but then white would play knight c3, and now black would get ahead in development, gain a tempo, and attack white's queen. So I don't recommend that. Or instead you can also go for the tennis game, which is after this takes and pawn c3, and then after this again takes, then you can play bishop c4 attacking the square, and now this will again take here, and now after the bishop takes, it's attack. Just look at these two bishops, they are attacking white's king really badly, and also they are in the center, and now white can now get his queen developed anywhere, and also now he can get his knights developed and castle on either side of the board. He can get both his knights developed wherever he wants to. He can castle on either side of the board, but still white is 2 pawns down and there's no forced win for black, although black seems somewhere lost. But still white is 2 pawns down, and white is also given a center pawn. So I don't think so that this opening should be done by beginners. Rather than here, also rather than playing d4 here, I guess for beginners it's better to play knight f3. Now you can see many defenses here. You may see pawn d6, the Philidor defense, which is not that good because when black gets behind in development. You may see knight f6, the Petrov defense. But here today we will look at the Giuoco Piano, and in this black plays knight c6, which is also a popular response to knight f3. And now white plays bishop c4, which is known as the Italian game, attacking the f7 square. Now some players could be wondering, why couldn't white play pawn d4 here? He could if he wants to, but then that would end up in a Scotch game, and it won't be bad. But still, in this video we're going to discuss about the Giuoco Piano that stems from the Italian game, so we will play bishop c4. And then now black would play bishop c5 with the same logic of attacking the f2 square, like we played bishop c5 to attack the f7 square. Now white here would play c3. As we discussed in the last video, white wants to play d5 to gain the center, but if he would play d5 right away, then just look, he would lose in the exchange. After pawn takes, then knight will take, and after this knight takes, then white is down a piece, so he would be down in the exchange. So to play d4, he'd first play c3, and so now he can play d4. Now most of the time black will play knight f6, which is the main line, attacking this pawn. Now we will disregard that and play d4, attack this bishop. More than not, black would take, and after white takes here, now black would play bishop b5 check, now planning to take this pawn here. Now let's look at a trick here, the chess trick, which is to play knight c3 here, and now after white plays knight to takes e4, which is most common, gaining a pawn. Now black would castle on the king side, which would be a good thing, and now white would play knight takes knight, which will also lead him to be 2 pawns down. So knight takes knight. Now this pawn will take, and after this bishop takes, he's attacking this rook, but we are going to disregard that and we're going to play queen b3, an aggressive move attacking this bishop, and also here. So now white would try and take as much material as he can because the bishop is attacked. That would be in the form of bishop takes a1, and now white would play bishop takes f2, check the black king, and now trap is unleashed. Now black king, it won't make a lot of sense for him to go to e7, as now after this check he's going to lose his queen. So I don't think so that would make a lot of sense. So now white would now the better move for black would be king f8, which is the most common here, by far the most common here. And now we'll play bishop g5, attack the white queen. It has no place to go. The white queen has no place to go. So now white would play knight e7, the only way to protect it. Now white would play rook e1. And you can understand that the black is going to suddenly lose his queen. We are going to take this. And now black is going to lose his queen. And he's going to be really bad in this game. And he's going to lose. Because if an experienced player would obviously win. And now we're going to look at, and now this is the most craziest variation of the Giuoco Piano. Now let's look at another one, which comes from the really beginning. In this position, instead of taking with the knight, we'll take with the bishop. So bishop takes knight, and now instead of white taking this knight, they're taking this bishop. White would disregard and play pawn e5, attacking this knight. Now black would have to decide what would he want to lose, this bishop or this knight. But white would eventually opt for losing this knight because bishops are really powerful earlier. So he'll play bishop f6, saving this bishop. Now white would play rook e1, and now black has to do another decision whether to save this knight or this knight. White would play knight e7, save this knight, because after white takes this knight, after white takes this knight, suppose if he saves this knight and gets up, and if he saves this knight, so it will be pinned and it won't have much of work, I guess so, even after we impure, but it will waste a lot of time and it's too dangerous here. So white would eventually make to lose this knight. Now also remember, if white moves this knight anywhere other than this square, let's say if we move it to some other shape square like a5, then white could, after this, even after the queen moves, it will get trapped, I guess so, yeah. So after queen moves to d2, so I don't think so a5. But there are no other good scare. But if he moves back to b8, remember that he'll get undeveloped. And also after white takes this, he's going to gain a tempo, attacking the black king. And also now it's going to be a really bad game for black. So black would get it to e7 here. And so now white would take here. Now, although white is down in material, 1 pawn down in material, I guess, but still he has a really good development. His king is already castle, and so white should have a pretty good game here. So yeah, so this is another variation. Now here you may see another variation that you may see here is the Evans gambit that is very ahead, which comes here. Instead of playing c3, we'll play pawn to b4, attacking this bishop. Now white would take, and after this pawn plays c3, then bishop to a5, and after white now plays d4, after white plays white plays d4, and now here it looks, although black is down in material, white is down in material, it looks good because white has a better center. And after this pawn takes, and white can castle, which will be the best, I guess so, the best move. White can castle, and now castle, I don't mean king f1. Now white can castle, and now white can castle, I guess so, yeah. King f1, and then now d cross c3 will be played. So now it looks a little bit bad for white, but he has an open queen and a center pawn. So I hope so. This is the Evans gambit. I don't think so it's good for beginners, but yeah, you may see this from white. So you should just keep that in mind, and you should accept it, because I didn't really accept it, but it also sometimes it could lead to a trick. So you should be aware of this Evans gambit. I don't recommend this for beginners. For beginners, I recommend playing c3, but yeah, you may see this, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so I hope so you enjoyed this video. Bye for now, and see you next time in the next video, which will be of the Raya Lopez. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you.